Welcome to episode 6. Today's topic, seamless building sites through Open BIM. My name is Håvard Brekke Bell. I'm CEO of Catenda, the company that makes BIMsync. My guest today is Aleksander Bjaaland, CEO of Holte, a leading creator and distributor of software, services, and training courses for the construction industry in Norway. The Holte mission is to simplify the construction sector and make it more efficient. Catenda's vision is to make the construction industry data-driven through open standards. Together, we have started a collaboration that will greatly digitize the construction site, not through some advanced BIM app, but by simply empower the user with great tools that just work. Making Open BIM the foundation of the seamless building site is something we both believe is key, but the end user should just get great tools. Welcome, Aleksander.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
I'm really excited about this because Holte, you guys, have never really been about BIM. Like BIM is the new buzzword, we're going to do BIM, blah, blah, blah. But you have been about giving end users great and simple tools. Can you tell us a little bit about Holte's thinking in this regard?
Actually, it's not quite true that we haven't been about BIM, because ever since 2009 we launched SmartCalc, the cost calculation system, where we used BIM and the import of BIM to calculate. But our experience is that it took quite some years before the companies actually started to use it.
How many years did it take before it sort of...
We launched it 2008, 2009, and then I think 2012 people started looking at it, and then 2014 it started to become interesting, and the last couple of years it's been explosion.
It's the same thing that we know, is actually that we've been... The sort of maturity for BIM or use real tools has been... The interest has been there for a long time, but the real usage has just come the late couple of years.
So for us, it's been the experience and the learning part, the first years, to just actually start getting into BIM and learning the IFC and see how we can use it and how we can actually automate the cost calculation.
It's the attitude I feel that Holte has been playing all along is to focus really on the end user and make sure that they get tools that help them in a sense, not just because you have to digitize or if you have to use BIM or whatever, but you have focus on the end user, I think, and that's been like a little bit of an inspiration for us to the time we've known you.
And we can see in Norway there are around 55,000 companies, and most of them are small. So for us, it's important to manage to take the advanced BIM stuff and make it simple, and then bring it out to the normal company. And how can you do that? And that's not by making things advanced and let people having all the advanced functionality. So the main thing is to take away functionality, to make it simple.
It's almost like a quiet revolution, because you have all these big projects from the big sort of construction companies, and the big owners are doing big projects with BIM and blah, blah, blah. But you really sort of underneath the whole radar system, if I can say so, where you just empower all the construction workers out there to become more digital, slowly but surely.
And it's a long way to go, but we know that that's the way it's going to be. And all the large companies won't be able to do what they want to do if they can't have a digitalized community beneath them.
Exactly. And you know, why did you choose to use BIMsync Boost, our sort of digital building blocks for software vendors, to help build a field application that you just launched?
You know the answer.
Of course, but I want to hear it from you.
And we think that Catenda and Holte is a perfect match. We deliver information. We have huge databases with information and experience from the past 40 years, all about costs, products, and pricing, and the hour you make to build something, and also lots of checklists and routines, and then we can visualize that through Catenda's viewer and the BIM model technology. So I think that's a perfect match to to make even a greater product.
Do you see any, or do you have any ideas of the future of the collaboration that we can do? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, we're going to launch a product now soon, and then that's just a start. It's just a simple. It's not simple, but it's for. If you look in the future, I think this is just a small start for the future. We can add all our information that we collect from cost calculation and deviations and checklists from the building site, and then put it and show it in the model and use the model to interact with the daily life on the building sites.
The thing that I kind of get really interested in this collaboration is I feel there is a lot of, how to say, tools out there or applications out there that just look at the small portion of the whole sort of picture. While you, and I believe what Catenda is doing as well, is thinking more about the whole life cycle. You're thinking about all the data that's starting somewhere, going through all the phases and ending up somewhere in the maintenance phase or operations phase or whatever. So combining that to finally we can, I believe, bring something new and exciting to the market because we have all these things glued together.
I think it's maybe similar to the App Store. In the start, it was cool to have lots of apps, and we used to discuss what kind of app do you use, and we had apps for this and you have apps for that. But in the end, when it comes to business, you won't want to have all the information in not in one system necessarily, but in one kind of communication system. So and not one app for this and one app for that. So that's why we focus on having the whole broad line of products. Some are more important than others, of course, but it's important for us to have all the small parts as well to deliver a complete solution, either by ourselves or by people we collaborate with.
Yeah, I just thought about that. In here in Catenda, when you're traveling, you have to fill out a traveling report of your expenses and all that stuff. And it amazes me that it's not really easy to do that in 2018. But we should fix this for the construction industry at least.
Yeah. That's actually one of the parts that we don't have, but it will come.
Well, that's tied to all kinds of. But
all these small things we haven't solved everything. But that's the small parts that actually hurts in every business. Those small parts that aren't digital. That's
true. And so, what's your sort of Holte strategy to fix those things? How are you going to attack it?
The way we attack it today is that we actually communicate with the customers all day. We are 150 employees talking to the customers every day and getting feedback, getting positive and negative feedback on everything, and then we adjust things and all the software to be more productive. The goal is to make our customer more efficient and to earn more money. So then in that way we need to talk to them every day.
But then how do you respond to their feedback? Do you go and fix things right away, or do you sort of look at the overall strategy and then we're going to do this first and then that first and then that first? Or
yes, we are not a consulting company, so we don't do specialized tailor-made solutions. We make out-of-the-shelf software. So that then we have to take all the feedback and then consider, is this something only for you, or is it something that lots of companies can have benefit from? And that's how we do every feedback we have to take into consideration in that way.
Just stop me if you don't want to sort of divulge any company secrets, but do you have any strategies to kind of make sure that you have all the digital pieces that you can glue together and make this really flow of digital information very easy for all the people out there in terms of their daily jobs and get their tools that work?
We have started. We have seen that Holte cannot make everything. We are not able to make a good BIM model or viewer. That's why we collaborate, because you will always be better than us. And we see that in lots of areas there are some Some apps will be better from other companies, some collecting apps. I think collaboration is important. That's important for the industry as well. So we started to talk to all our competitors to see, can we make some standards, some small standards that we can communicate, so that we can use different systems to make every day more easy for the company using us. I think for some companies the perfect solution is a bit part of Holte, a bit part of Catenda, and a bit part of some other solutions, but it has to be seamless. It has to work. Right now it's no such standard, so it's difficult for them to collect and use and get the right data for the right use.
This is really interesting, and I think this is this whole Norwegian effort of digitizing together is kind of an answer to that. And it also goes along with what we keep talking about all the time, is to share data, because we also realize that we unfortunately we can't make a big solution that works for everyone everywhere, but we have to be part of that solution. And in order to be part of that solution, the biggest, I think, or one of the biggest challenges is that you have so many tools that do different things. You have an email client over here, you have a travel bill reporting system over here, and then you have your BIM over here, and then you have whatever over here. But if you could tie all these things together by having these information bits flow between all these applications, then you're getting to something that's exciting.
Yeah, and Norway is a relatively small country, so we need to collaborate and we don't win if we compete with each other in the wrong way. We need to collaborate in a way that everyone can earn money and have a reason to live. So I think collaboration still is good for that, and I think we need to find good ways of collaborating and still be able to compete in a natural and nice way.
I totally agree, and that brings me to another thing that I'm wondering about Holte. What's your sort of international strategy now? If you're able to solve this here in Norway, are you planning on moving this abroad, or?
The focus until now has been Norway, and we see that there is still lots of potential in Norway. But for some products, it's difficult to go abroad, like invoicing. It's a complete different world in every country. But for everything we do with BIM, it's potential for going abroad.
So you have concrete plans, or do you just look at it, or?
We have concrete plans.
Can you tell us about those concrete plans, or is?
No, we're just talking to different countries and to see, because we need to find the right content in these countries, because the base of lots of things we do in Holte is based on information and knowledge. So we need to find good partners in other countries to make good solutions for them for that country as well.
Exactly. What's the first country coming up?
That's my secret.
That's fine. That's fair enough. I'm just trying.
Maybe we can do something together.
I'd love that. We're both going to Tokyo now, because there's an international Buildingsmart International Summit. And in fact, we met for the first time way back when you were a kid, and joining the international community of Buildingsmart and developing IFC standards and so forth. So we've been part of that community for a long time as well, and we're going to Tokyo now for this summit and show what we can do in Norway, and of course also further develop the standards out there. I really believe in the open BIM, open standards strategy, and it's really I think great to collaborate with somebody who has the same sort of DNA thinking around it. That you want to share stuff using standards, and if there are no standards existing, you guys actually want to develop those standards in an open fashion. Is this something that you spend a lot of the company time on, or what's the sort of ratio there in terms of?
Yeah, we are lucky to have an owner that thinks it's important with innovation for the building industry. So he wants Holte to be kind of an innovation company, and that we want spends lots of time to develop and seeing project for the long term, not only the short term.
Yeah, that's the sense I get as well.
And BIM and Buildingsmart has been definitely for the long term. It's soon to be 10 years anniversary of our project with the Buildingsmart. So, but now it starts to paying off. So it's definitely long term.
It certainly is. It's I'm not sure what it is, but if it's the construction industry or if it's just things take time to mature and get ready for a market. But I'm wondering now if we're at the tipping point where things will start speed up a lot more, both in terms of national things and international. Is that something you see as well, or?
Yes, and I've seen it lots of times before, but now I really think it's starting to loosening up.
Do you have anything that you want to sort of share with our listeners in terms of what you guys want to do?
You mentioned Tokyo, and that's really exciting for us. We're going to present a solution of e-commerce, how we can actually solve the whole process from the BIM and taking to cost calculation and selecting products based on properties from the Buildingsmart standards BSDD, and then order the product and get the delivering package to the building site and to follow the product, my life as a product, all the way, based on open standards, both Buildingsmart standards and also other open standards.
That's very interesting, because this is a revolution.
Yeah.
I think this has not been done before, and
right now there is 1% digital ordering in the buildings industry in Norway, and I think that 1% is bragging a bit. So we hope to really increase that usage of digital e-commerce.
How is it order being done of the 99%? By phone or?
It's by phone or by actually meeting up at the not the grocery store, but the warehouse, and then discuss products and select and see and be there.
It's kind of amazing.
It's really costly, because both you have to send people down there to pick it up, you have to have personnel in the warehouse to be there to help them. So it's a really costly process.
It's actually, when you think about it, it's amazing that that's the way it's being done.
Yeah.
But if you can get your system out there, I think it's going to be very exciting to see what happens.
And again, it's a collaboration between several companies to make this happen. So we can't do this alone.
We have to digitize together.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for coming to our studio today, Aleksander, and I'm really looking forward to our collaboration.
Same here. Thank you.